eager to take the bullet now. As I speak, there are 3 things that will happen within the next few months. The struggle, we don't enter stage for inside violence. That means a political violence. The struggle, we don't enter stage for conflict and all that by La Republic. We don't enter stage for self-defense. And right now, because we stay for stage for self-defense, this is what will happen. Within the next 1 to 2 or 3 months, Ambazonians living abroad will start paying their flights to go back home and fight. It has come to that stage. We, the Ambazonians, the boys, the able boys, we have reached that stage where we will mobilize, we will go back home and we will assemble our weapons and fight. We shall fight. Number 2, would already be psychologically prepared for fight. Would already be very psychologically prepared for take gun for shoot. La Republique and their frogs, they don't even be psychologically prepared. That means they don't even get no war experience. We'd already experienced war for the past 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months, and even 1 and 2 years. We'd already see how the struggle don't evolve. We'd already be so intertwined in the struggle. That means psychologically we are armed to fight. It will come a point where we shall be paying our fight to go down there and fight, like what happened in Eritrea, like what happened in South Sudan, like what happened in other countries. People left from the diaspora, went back home to assist their boys to fight, and we shall come to that particular stage. As we speak, we have military people, ex-military people, and people who have also worked in La Republique and who are angry about the whole situation. It shall come a point we shall go there and fight. For now, those boys are already doing a good job on the ground, killing those bees and taking out those terrorists from Amazonia. Number 3, it shall come in a point in this struggle where Pinyin and Bali in particular shall be fully involved. I don't always pray for 2 things. This struggle not going to be a struggle if Pinyin and Balinyonga no join. Why I call Pinyin and Balinyonga? Pinyin and Balinyonga get the highest number of weapons any other community in the world has. Pinyin and Balinyonga, they get the highest number of weapons any other community has. And we task everybody in Pinyin and Bali to load their weapons and protect their community. Load your weapons, load them with bullets, and you protect your community. Load your weapons to the full and shoot at any La Republique terrorist. What has happened in your community is abominable. So they can take 30 boys, 30. In the history of Ambazonians, we have never been known as thieves. The thieves we know are all in La Republique du Cameroon. The thieves we know are all in jail in Konengi. We have never ever been known as thieves. Then you come and say our boys were raping women. They had nothing doing to fight for independence than going to rape women in a hotel. Frundi said our boys are armed robbers. Stupid Frundi, crooked Frundi said our boys are armed robbers on BBC News. Sometimes I never listen and I go listen to audio. That the boys who were killed in Santa and Pinyin, or whether they call and say Menka, are armed robbers. That is what Frundi, the crook, said, are armed robbers. Although he acknowledged, say, Ambazonian boys are fighting in the bushes, what are those armed robbers doing honeymooning in the hotel? Those boys were taken from other communities, brought to that hotel, and shot and killed. If really those boys went and attacked the palace and they had weapons, or those boys who had weapons and were terrorizing communities, let me ask you the first question, and there were 30 of them. How comes no La Republique terrorist received a shot from those boys? None of them were killed. That means that they can't attack those boys could not fire back. That is a question. None of the La Republique terrorists were killed. That is an eye-opener. How come you say they were armed robbers, that they've been terrorizing communities, that they had knives and clubs, but nobody has been seen testifying as a victim of rape or sexual assault? No woman testified that this boy raped him. None of them. So who are these boys who were massacred? 34 of them or 38 of them. Who are these boys? Frundi has something to explain to the public. Frundi, Atanganji, and Achidi Acho are all terrorists, criminals in Ambazonia, criminals. We have never heard Frundi talk against La Republique du Cameroon. The only time he comes to talk is when there's a killing in Santa, and they have killed our boys, he's coming to say those boys were armed robbers. None of them were armed robbers. And armed robbers, you have to arrest them. We've not seen any single arrest. No single arrest. Even some boy will show a hand for also say, when arrest me. None of them were arrested. None. We have evidence that they took 5 boys from Yi and brought to Santa, and they shot. 5 of those who were killed among those boys were from Yi. How come do we have in Yi population in whether it's Menka? How come do we have in Yi 5 boys of them from Yi were among those who were killed in Pinyin? How come do we have them? Look, the struggle don't enter stage 1. I get to understand one thing. La République literally one create panic in all villages. La République one make a mukuna PSC they be present in all villages. La République, this is the thing they do. They come for some community, they come for night, so can catch for emergency man come. They put them inside truck, they go with a rifle from Cambe, they go shoot them for they kill them. So that make una know say La République is from Cambe, it work for Cambe. Nothing that way they do them. La République they come so enter some village. If you can carry like 4 or 5 boys, they 6, 7, they can go with them for another village, go shoot them, kill them. Now, one of those villagers themselves, they need to ever know how to identify those corpses. They need to know how to identify those bodies. We get to be very keen about the tactics with La République they do. And we get to point that out. Next 2 weeks, we're going to launch a protest for New York. And that protest for New York will address several things then. One of the things then, it will be now the point say ambassador for United States again to act on our behalf. They don't drive ambassador for United States for La République. We don't give you big land, big plot for Buea. Say make it can be U.S. embassy for Buea. No, may no worry. We are their brothers. May the ambassador for U.S. come build plot, and we need a U.S. embassy in Buea. Once the U.S. embassy did it, because U.S. don't show say they did for a site. I don't know whether I don't write ambassador or not, but I want to tell you now. Say make everybody go now, go write for ambassador. Say ambassador, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for standing by the marginalized. Thank you for standing by the minority. Thank you for standing by this. Thank you for standing by Ambazonia, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Thank you for calling the word Ambazonia in the presidency of the La République du Cameroon. Ambassador, he open him mop, he talk and say Ambazonia. The Ambazonia commander who was killed, he was killed illegally. Now, so ambassador talk about front Pobia or inside Unity Palace. That means for inside Pobia, the presidency, that terrorist, the presidency. Ambassador, he talk him. Ambassador, he commode, he take it 2 foot, he walk and enter inside that terrorist land. For tell Bia say thing where he do him, he no correct. And the ambassador, he take the food, go right for they go talk say, Mr. Bia, thing what they tell you, the can't warn you for your house. Say, I want to warn you. Thing what they tell you, you know correct. And the next time I'll come can warn you, it go be on top, it go be on guns. Ambassador finish his warning by saying, Mr. Bia, he remember how he start think how they go remember ye. That means say they go and remember ye the person where they kill on the street, or they want remember ye Nelson Mandela. Now the thing that way ambassador he tell Bia for a phone before he come ye for the place. Say as I don't tell you all these things then, I want to conclude by telling you say, make you start think how will they go remember you tomorrow. Because sometimes your own die don't start rich, and when you start dying, no man will come for your aid. That's in the ambassador talk and Igoyi. 3 days after, La République them, because they shame for their neck is too much, they come out, they want someone, a whole US ambassador, may he come attend meeting for MINREX, that means the Ministry of External Relations. A whole US ambassador, like they say, make it come. US ambassador says, Je m'en fous, I'm on a leave and I will not come. That means say leave, I don't find anything where you even get time say for even can she don't because you know they work anything. The ambassador say, I'm not going to listen for their stupidity. At the commode, at the go me, and when I go me, I know will come back. Full stop. Ambassador, he tell them straight up. So when I'm not even qualified for even reach my boy for inside presidency, for inside my ministry, or for inside my diplomatic mission. When I want someone me like, oh, first of all, how old are you? Bella, you around 92 years old. You want someone me like, who? What is your capability? What is it? Ambassador, he blasts them, he come out go. They don't write some stupid letter full of grammatical errors, and then we don't take our own correct that letter. We say for inside one page, about 400 grammatical errors in one English letter. 400 grammatical errors written by La République to US ambassador. 402 grammatical errors in one letter. Then you want someone, US ambassador, may can hear you. That is madness. At this stage of the struggle, US already show we say the day for we. Now the only country that in the entire world since where the struggle starts, since when we start cry, since 1961, where they don't open up say no. We don't look this thing fine. We say and say no, these people they get right for independence. Now think that was a US person they tell me. Say yes, she don't you don't analyze the things. I say no. Say we get right for independence. And he be tell me some two I be talking for years on my video. That my US friend be tell me say, time when he look the thing, he say and say the next thing will happen. I say US does start support Ambazonia. And it not be take me by surprise time when US ambassador start support we. He say when US start support Ambazonia, the first thing I say they go the lobby for back for make other countries they made a support Ambazonia. Say because US na a magnet, that means say that the workers so all thing they follow them. He say the first thing I say when US already start support a people, the next thing I say all countries they now go to fall for back US. He said the country they go to fall for back US now because the US get money where US is sustain other people their own economy. So he said when the people they go to fall, that means he call out some big book say bandwagoning effect. I said what is the meaning of bandwagon? It will say the highway you carry ngongolo moto, you the driver. When driver they drive ngongolo moto, and then people they jump inside the motor, all man because it gets space for back, all man they jump inside the motor, all man they jump inside the motor. And then the driver, they carry them, they go. He call and say bandwagoning effect. I be don't explain these things since, and I'll be can't talk again because most of the time, I don't like I'm come Facebook Live, and what I mean, I never announce my coming because I don't repeat myself over and over. I only repeat the same thing, and it happen. If we talk say when US will start support Ambazonia independence, bandwagoning effect will happen. That means say all small countries they go one join Israel. Go join. This one go join. That one go join. This one go join. All those countries go join for back US. Then support our independence. Then pass an for law. And then UN now go recognize Ambazonia like the newest country in the world. I thought say how if it happen? He tell me say when I don't start on a very good footing. Say when I know we start with violence. I say how? He tell me say last year that time when I start that he didn't watch me. I should say they didn't watch me now. He did my friend, my very good friend for the page. Every time they say last year that time we start very peaceful. Say they don't look all our videos what they do and what Tapang they do and man they do and where they say no violence, no this, please do not when the police is attacking you, put your hands up, just use a peace plan. It to say that was the best approach ever used. It to say as we start and so with that particular approach till this particular time, they be see them say US don't analyze them. Say any human rights organization never don't analyze them. So when they should on the analyze, say these people have been peaceful and the leaders were preaching peace. They were saying that don't retaliate because they gave the fool a long rope to pull and hang himself. Then when they started preaching peace, the other opponent, equal and say adversary. I don't know the meaning of adversary, but I think that will be user. He said the other adversary, they started using violence on this group of people who are consistently preaching peace, despite the fact that their leaders were all arrested and they have been marginalized and they have a point. So they were consistently preaching peace, but yet the adversary was attacking them. And then it also as they attack we for 1 year, say we will hold on to our patience because they attack we from that November 2029 or 21 November 2016. See, right for December 2017, they attacked me for more than 1 year. They kill, we will show all evidence to the protest. We never retaliated. It was said that was exactly what every country should do. Say you start with peace, then you transition now to self-defense. Just to tell the world that you prove the world that this is a genuine case. Any lawyer take your case, he look and say, no, these people started with peace. They have a right now to self-defense. So as we do and also, it will say the next thing will go happen. I say number one, US now go come, can look the matter, can now support the people who were the victims. I say how? He said the first thing I said they always come. My put this call off. He said the first thing I said they always come by summoning the president or summoning the administrators to tell them that this thing is happening. You guys keep marginalizing and killing these people. It is not right. And he said when US don't put a word for something even before France and UK, the next thing I say France and UK, they go change their rhetoric. They go come back and join the US. I say how? He said where US already na a mother, na a kingpin in the world, na the lead, na the superpower. And no one wants to fight the superpower. France is a small JJ country. US will crush France in 1 minute. But again, it said no two democracies ever fight each other, because if you use some words, say democratic peace theory, say no two democracies can fight each other. But it say democracies will always lead the super democracy. That means the US not the super democracy, and other countries they go follow that US. As US don't talk now, some palm it already be signed, it already be sealed. France not to talk anything again. France go be mute. UK go be mute. When they already see and say UK now they already pass our parliament, say let us stop the Ambazonian crisis. Australia, they already passed our parliament, say they want to talk about the Ambazonian crisis. The only country with the only she don't have quiet for your own corner, na France. France only she don't say, hey, you want Oman don't talk so. You want Oman don't talk so. France don't get no lobby power. They what they call lobby power. They don't get no lobby, they don't get no bargaining chip. They have no bargaining power when US it talk for Ambazonia, when Britain it talk for Ambazonia, and when Australia it talk for Ambazonia. The only thing where France can do right now, not only for bandwagon, because all other countries go bandwagon. US don't support Britain, so they open an embassy. US don't support Israel, so they open embassy for Tel Aviv, for Jerusalem, for Israel. They don't open embassy. You expect me Israel to turn it back against US because of Ambazonia? No. Israel, the next thing will happen, I say Israel will stop supplying weapons to La République du Cameroon, and they will stop training the bees, because Israel is already seeing itself as a democracy, and Israel no one to support a regime where they kill its own citizens, its own in quotes. So the next thing I say, will they write letter as US ambassador on top of we one at the come like my main point for this program. And I say I want to tell when I say we'll write a letter addressed to the Israeli government. Say all those their weapons where they support them, where they supply them to Cameroon, because like Israel they train La Republic soldiers, terrorists rather. Say all their weapons, the way they supply them for fund terrorism against Ambazonia. And this is an evidence that the US ambassador has said that they are killing Ambazonians, that the weapons that have been sent to La Republic are used to kill their own citizens. So, Mr. Israeli government, this is what the US ambassador, the US government is saying. So, do you want to side with the US government or you want to side with La Republic? Of course, the question is obvious and the answer is obvious. Ambassador for Israel and the Israeli government will say, no, if the US embassy has said this, and if the UN has published a report saying this, therefore it is true that we shall no longer fund La Republic soldiers, because they are sponsoring terrorism and they are killing their own citizens. That is exactly where we're heading to. So one next diplomatic letter, it comes with a diplomatic approach. We will block La Republic for all sides. Once we do one, once we lobby Israel, the next protest will be now from Israeli embassy. Say Israel, stop funding terrorism in La Republique du Cameroon. The weapons you are giving to those terrorists, they are using to kill our citizens. Israel, cut the supply of funds, cut the supply of weapons, cut the supply of this. Stop funding those terrorists. Stop training those terrorists. Stop doing this. Once you don't protest, they go stop them. Then we now will supply weapons for our boys. They made a fight, made a protect ourselves, made a protect our women and children. That is exactly what we shall be doing. Up next, Unasabi say France, Britain, and UK. They don't always France and Britain, they don't always be very silent. As US don't take the lead, the leaders where they did for abroad here, Mokuna or Sadis will already be immune. Not enough ever happen for Una. We don't see black legs that they on Facebook. Oh, they should deport Tapang. Oh, they should deport this. They deport you to where? Would they deport me to Australia, or would they deport me to a terrorist rogue state? If they deport me to Canada, I find him because Canada get good immigration law, so that might enjoy for Canada. Or might even take hamburger for Germany. Or might take fish pie for Australia. If they deport me, fine. No country, no democracy in the world. Let me tell you, and let me assure you people, all. No democracy will ever deport a citizen to an autocracy that kills its own citizens. Number one. Instead, those countries are massively looking for you in Cameroon to deport you to the US. Does that make any sense? Because they know that you are a risk in those countries. So they are looking for you to deport, they want to deport you to Cameroon. That is exactly what is happening. So if you did now so for this thing, for La République du Cameroon, no say US government define you for deport them. They want to deport you now for US. They don't want to deport person from US back to They don't like that kind of thing. They want to find a you now so for deport them from Amazonia back to USA because the sense you are at risk, you can be killed. Bullets they pass all time. So if now me you had to go find deportation now so for US Embassy, say US Embassy, please deport me quick, deport me back to US, deport me to the US. That is what they want to do. So stupid heads of Facebook, instead of go find deportation for US Embassy, they instead waste their time and say, oh, US Embassy deport a terrorist. Deport a terrorist where? So a terrorist regime, idiot. So I want advice when I say at this stage of the struggle, we are already winning. No place, no day we will ever lose for this struggle. Everything we have been doing has been very, very consistent. Although we get some small problems, them small one that will IG. This one I will address the IG matter later. And when I address the IG matter later, I hope Atta Milan will hear me for this one. That IG matter is a serious matter where you take a different approach. That one I'll come to that later. But I want to tell when I say some group, then they for this struggle they be very effective. When I see Red Dragons, a very effective group. Tigers, they be effective. Other groups, then they be effective. This one, they be effective. So I want to advise everybody, say, when I take this struggle very serious, because other groups are coming up. Not only Red Dragons will exist for life, there are other groups that are existing. And those groups that are existing will take command and even be better than the Red Dragons. So the Red Dragons are only better now, but there will be groups that will be worse, that will be extremely better than the Red Dragons. And that is our goal. We'll be very happy if you design, you come up with a concept, you build a formidable group that will be able to push for this issue of independence for once and for all. If you cannot do it, then we will never succeed. Please, Adebekuna, Adeomanis, if you're there for abroad, you know people the way they get money. Make these people that support people them back home. These boys are working with den guns to fight machine guns. How you feel carry den gun itself. For go fight machine gun, person with the whole mitraille, where they just click and so and say the command. How you feel carry den gun go to fight them. And the boys they even be more courageous where they even show their faces. They carry their face so they show them. Say na me this when I come when La République Chiruma Bakare can catch me Kasiam. These boys have maximum courage. Imagine, ma ask you this question. Will you not be more impressed if you see these boys them they hold that automatic rifles them where they load them with bullets for their skin? Will you not be more impressed? Will you not be more impressed? I know someone will be impressed with the fact that they even show that den guns them. But will you not be more impressed if you see them with automatic rifles, they put them for their skin, they say, we are out to protect our women and children. Will you not be more impressed? That's exactly what we are going to. Let us learn any money we will take for any group, it must go down there. I don't care whether president gets to travel from Maryland to Las Vegas. I don't care whether you get to travel from this one to South Africa. I don't care whether you get to travel from this one. That your flight money, if you buy 30 Kalashnikovs, to help those people back home. We have come to this point where we have to speak the truth. A leader must tell the truth. I am not here to let the followers lead me. I am here to tell the followers what they have to do. Because I have a long-term vision of what we can do to succeed. If you can see now, I can see tomorrow. And if you can see your emotions, I can see failure. At this stage, we don't need presidents who are flying from one country to the other. Let me give you an example. When a country is already broke, when a country is running on a very low economy, the president starts by scaling down his trips. He starts by cutting down on wasteful spendings. Wasteful spendings are all cut down. That is the first thing. Because a presidential trip is very expensive, very costly. You start by cutting down on wasteful spendings. Cut down on this. We don't need that. We don't need that. You can sit from anywhere and literally raise those funds. You cut down and you save the minimum amount of money that you have and pump to these boys who are holding den guns. I am ashamed as the general to see people holding den guns to fight automatic rifle holders. It is a shame. It is a sham. It is a disgrace. We get to see how these boys will transition from having that courage of holding den guns to having the courage of holding automatic rifles and RPGs. We need rocket-propelled grenade launchers. We need those boys to sit and do those videos with rocket-propelled grenades. Where when you shoot one for that terrorist truck, it tumbles aside the whole that terrorist truck. That is what we need to see. At this stage, we need to see how the presidents and all other leaders and whatever, or you call yourself president, you call yourself a leader, you scale down on those little trips and pump the money back home. If you will know how much will be carried out as an operation yesterday for Limbe, it was only 37,000 francs for transport just 2 of our boys then to Limbe. 2, just 2 to Limbe. 2, 37, 2. And they did a formidable job. Go now for Limbe mortuary, for the Limbe hospital mortuary. The entire mortuary since yesterday night till today flooded with La Republic terrorists. Flooded. The entire mortuary. The entire 2 trucks were taken down straight up. 2 trucks taken down straight up. 2 trucks, 2 big trucks were taken down straight up. Straight up. I will not care. Now, all because we want to protect our women and children. Those 2 trucks should have killed the entire population. But we helped, we eliminated them. At this stage, you guys should be very keen. Those soldiers or those so-called soldiers of La Republic, they are not trained. They are only out to pull guns that they cannot even snipe and shoot. They are not trained on law, war laws. They have no human rights. They are poorly trained on human rights. And that is why the US ambassador was very keen and he was insisting. We cannot collaborate with the military. We cannot, they said it clearly in a press release. We cannot collaborate with a military that kills its own citizens and that cannot even protect people's lives. We cannot collaborate with them. That we cannot collaborate with a military that violates gross violation of human rights. We cannot, the US cannot go that low. That is why it indirectly tells Cameroon government that your terrorists, your so-called soldiers are all terrorists because they are terrorizing civilian population. When they walk into any place, civilians are fleeing. In other countries, when the US is arriving, everybody is coming and hailing the US government and hailing their soldiers. But in Cameroon, it's the opposite. When Ambazonia soldiers come, women and children are rallying to give them food. But when the Republic soldiers are arriving, everyone is fleeing. It only happens in a terrorist state. Everyone literally flees. Man, they see soldier, they run. Therefore, it means that soldier is a terrorist. Man, this question, man, they see soldier, they run. How if you see soldier, you run? Therefore, it means that there's a question in that so-called soldier. We are winning big time. The international community is seeing. Now, make I use this opportunity for enter inside big matter. That particular thing where they come and say Atta Milan waiting for South Africa. These guys have been playing mafia. And I don't talk this market from day 1 to day 3. From day 3 to day 100. From day 100 to day 200. I was at the center of all this when this thing started. I, Tapang Ivo. I'm not there for play politics. Other people, other bloggers who play politics. But me, Tapang Ivo, I play politics. I don't play mind games. I have been saying it consistently, and I will say it for the sake of a winning struggle. I was at the center of all this. Ivo be this center, na Ivo. Now me, I be stand for center, where they be one dismissed, the one broke everything, so that made they get all their crooked, because me, I be straightforward. When I see something, I go talk them. So because I was too straight, they thought they could not manipulate me. And that is why they wanted to go and manipulate their gang. John Ba Akuro, Atta Milan, Lady Eve, that woman they call Nalova, those 3. They went and set up a gang to gang against us and take us away from the consortium. That is exactly what they did. John Ba Akuro, Lady Eve, her name on WhatsApp was Lady Eve, Nalova B, and Atta Milan, those 3 people. 2 were in Nigeria, 1 was in South Africa. The one in South Africa cooked it up and he pushed it to Nigeria. The one in Nigeria cooked everything and then they went and set up a letter to dismiss whatever and then set up a gang. That was not a problem. The problem here was to eventually destroy the struggle. Because at that point, some of them were even working for La Republic government and they were on a payroll of La Republic government. They were on a payroll. At that point, John Ba Akuro was on a payroll of La Republic government. Why in Nigeria and why even traveling to the US and back? We are very keen on all what was happening. I have evidence, I have WhatsApp proof, and if I start flushing them out, it will not be good at this stage, but I'm just simply telling you what is happening right now. At this stage, John Ba Akuro already turned, right now he's for the struggle, but I'm giving you what is happening. Right now, what I am seeing he is doing is a little bit tilted towards the success of the struggle. But there are two people in that gang that are still against the struggle. Number one, Nalova B, and number two, Atamilan. Those two people are enough to break the struggle completely and destroy it. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you. But Tapang Ivo is enough to unite the entire struggle and bring everybody to the lane and the right lane towards independence. At this stage, number one, they killed the consortium. You killed the consortium because you want to create SCACUF. Then Milan himself went and created that SCACUF thing. You killed the SCACUF because you wanted to create the IG. Now you want to kill the IG because you want to create SCOOP. Tomorrow you kill the SCOOP because you want to create POOP. Tomorrow you kill the POOP because you want to create that. We are not into games. This struggle has passed the level of groups. We are not playing games when lives have been lost. We are not playing games when mothers have been burnt in their houses and their bones are sticking out like rabbits. We are not playing games when people are suffering hugely and sleeping in Kwakwa mosquito bushes. If you cannot sit up for once and clear the stage for other people to lead, do not go on to go and create terrible criminal syndicates called groups. Do not go on to create SCOOP. I'm talking here to Milan. Do not go on to create SCOOP. Do not go on here to create whatever, ARCC and the rest. Stay on the lane. We are not here to create groups. While other people are struggling to create defense groups on the ground, you are there creating political groups abroad. We cannot play politics in a revolution. Someone once asked me on a forum, I will not call the name of that forum, on a so-called self-defense forum, that Ivo, you are not even able to play politics. You are not good enough to play politics. I told the person, look, Ivo never plays politics in a revolution. Never, never, never. I don't play politics in a revolution. Ivo plays one thing in a revolution, a revolutionary role. When we shall win Ambazonia, it will be time for politics. And Ivo will play the politics so well, even better than even the people who claim they can play politics. For now, Ivo is playing a revolutionary role where there is no politics in it. There is none, not at all. The politics you guys are playing is delaying people from having the guns from the money you guys have contributed to those so-called groups. The politics you guys are playing is delaying our soldiers on the ground from protecting our women and children who have been killed in drones. The politics you guys are playing is distracting our people from the ground from focusing on the enemy and instead looking at their phones, waiting, Milan, you won't do so. The politics you guys are playing will heavily kill the struggle within the next 1-2 months. And with all my sacrifice, with all your sacrifice, with all our efforts, we will not see this happen. Never. We will not see this happen. You cannot go to South Africa and sit with Issa Chiruma Bakari of all people, the person who is the lead terrorist, propaganda terrorist. You go and sit with Chiruma Bakari and you look at him in the face and you drink from the same bottle with him. It is abominable. It is abominable. The women in the bushes should be crying blood in their eyes. Literally, they should be crying blood in their eyes. You cannot go and sit in South Africa with somebody who claims we are terrorists. We, Tapang Ivo, me, Tapang Ivo, all of you watching us here, we are terrorists. You cannot go and sit with that kind of a person and you're dining on the same table with him. It is abominable. You cannot call yourself the president or the vice president of IG and you are there endorsing the person who has the group called SCOOP, who went and sat with Issa Chiruma Bakari. You are endorsing that person who created that group and you're endorsing that SCOOP. Then you have a problem. I'm talking to Milton Takang or whatever you call yourself. Milton Taka, be very careful. You cannot go on to go and sit and you are putting out a video with your face and you are directly endorsing SCOOP or SPOOP or whatever and it's Atamilan. If you've been paid to ridicule the struggle, to make us laughing stocks in front of Francophones, Ivo has been paid to tell you the truth and only the truth, and we shall kick you out. As simple as it is, we shall kick you out. I'm not part of any group. Groups cannot pay me a salary. I am part of you all watching me right now. These are my own groups. Any one way you want to watch me, this is my group. I'm not part for playing politics, and I will never be party to playing politics after seeing the lives of people who have been lost. I will never be party. At this stage of the struggle, Milan out, attacking Milan or attacking whatever, Milton, or the out, just kick out from the group, kick out. IG or whatever you call yourself, dismiss those two people. Dismiss those two people for the sake of peace. Dismiss them. Attack Milan officially dismissed from IG or whatever. Attacker Milton officially dismissed. If you want to go and create a group, go and create your own groups. Dismiss them. One of the main words here, people are in their graves right now looking at us. Say, wait till Ivor don't talk. Wait till these guys they will do to solve this problem. Dismiss them straight up. Dismiss them out. Takang Milan out. Atam Milan out. All the MM out. Chiroma Bakari out. Just take them out. We are not here to play politics. Lives have been lost. More than 3,000 lives have been lost. We are talking here more than 3,000 lives that have been lost. If you think you will be a blogger who will be supporting all this nonsense, I will be the blogger who will be supporting all this, the taking out of all of these people. I will be that blogger, and I will be very keen on that because our people do not need distraction at this stage. If you think you cannot lead your people, I will help you to lead those people. I will help you. If you think you want to lead us to Yaoundé, I will lead you to Buea. Because anyway, not be everybody will talk Buea, na Buea. So put it talk Buea because they want to go hold CPDM rally for Buea. We know that. They want to say, oh, we're going to Buea. No, because they want to hold a CPDM rally in Buea. So when you talk Buea, it has to be explicit and you have to come out clear. We have black legs within Ambazonia. We have black legs. And the legs are really black. It's not literally black legs. Their faces are also really black. We see their faces, the Bamum faces. We see those black faces. We have black legs and black faces within the Ambazonia revolution. The enemy is not coming from outside. The enemy comes from inside. The enemy, intestine, they rotten from outside. It starts rotting from inside. Then it starts smearing. Then it comes outside. That is exactly where the struggle is right now. 1, Takang Milan should be dismissed from the IG. 2, Atam Milan officially dismissed from the IG. If they want to create a group, they should go and create a group. If they want to set up their TV, they should go and set up a TV. Right now, we don't even have a TV where people are watching me right now. So that's enough. That's impressive. We don't need TVs in the 21st century. Your phone is already a TV. Anybody can go live. That's already a TV. So don't even waste projects. That's what we call white elephant projects. You're wasting money to create a TV that who should watch. People in Kwakwa bushes, nobody has electricity. Everybody's sleeping in the bushes. Who is at home to watch the TV? It doesn't even matter at this stage. So a TV is only what we call a white elephant project. It's a wasteful spending. So we don't need TVs at this stage. Your phone is enough TV. Your internet data is enough TV. TV will just make you now, expose you to more danger. So close that thing called SCBC TV or whatever. Just shut the thing down. Shut that nonsense off. Focus on the people who brought you to this stage. We have consistent people who brought you to this stage. We have many of them. You can choose any of them and follow. You must not follow all. You can choose any of them and follow. They'll pass the same message towards winning this revolution. 3, IG should be reformed. Whether you want to crack the IG and just dismiss it and create a new set of leadership, fine. But that IG thing, they were infiltrators. Atam Milan successfully went into the IG, put some people on payrolls. We know those people will put their names after. Put some people on payrolls to consistently make friction within that IG. Those people are still there. Those people are still on Atam Milan's payroll. They are still there. And those are the ones fomenting trouble and making the whole system look bogus. We are not ready for that. Number 3, any money raised by any groups should go down to those soldiers. Our boys can no longer hold their guns when money is raised in the diaspora on their behalf, and yet they are holding their guns to kill people with machine guns. It can never win like that. It can never win. You know, there is no war in this world where anybody has used a stick to kill a soldier with a rifle. It will never work. Every group, whatever money you've raised, I know Morris raised that group called Morris. They raised $75,000. Everyone should go and ask Morris where that money is. $75,000. Morris raised $75,000. Go and ask Morris where that $75,000 is and how that money will go to the ground right now to fund the ground. $75,000 Maurice raised. That money is enough to cripple the entire La Republique. Other groups have been raising money. Go and ask them, let them pump that money and support these boys on the ground. It may not be Red Dragons, it may be other groups. Go and support these boys on the ground. Other groups have been raising money to support this, and we've been seeing their action. Great, congratulations. But the ones that have been raising money for other things, it is the right time. The people who donated that money are telling you that take that money, don't put it on lawsuit or what you call diplomatic, whatever. Take that money and sponsor our boys who are doing a great, formidable job. We ran a poll some weeks ago, and 98% of the people who voted, they voted for the fact that they support the Ambazonian soldiers. 98. Only 2 people, 2% against the Francophones who said they don't support. Everybody supports what those boys are doing on the ground. Every single soul, everyone supports them. We must continue to fund the revolution. The focus is on the ground. If you derail the focus on the ground, you are inviting Issa Chiroma to South Africa. And that is it. If you derail the focus on the ground, you're inviting Issa Chiroma to South Africa. What are you sitting with Issa Chiroma to discuss? For what? Discuss that what? Discuss that what are you sitting to discuss with Chiroma Bakari? What are you sitting? That, oh, Mr. Chiroma, let us help to kill these people. Are you not indirectly revealing secrets on how Chiroma can kill us? What are you even discussing with him that you even shake his hand? Mr. Chiroma, I greet you. Really? And your people, and we have a president who was arrested in Nigeria. Let me be honest. It's been more than 6 months now, getting to 7 months. We've not heard, or we've not even seen, or we've never even yet smell for Sisiku and the rest who were arrested. 7 months going, none. Maybe we'll start calling late Tasang or late Sisiku or late whatever. It is hard to say it. None. And this is you who went and masterminded everything in Nigeria. And you are going to greet the same Mr. Chiroma Bakari who openly said Sisiku is in jail in Yaoundé, who openly said these people are all in custody and that these people were terrorists and will be arrested and tried. You at Milan, you're going to meet this person, Issa Chiroma Bakari, who openly told you that all the people who were arrested in the Nera hotels are terrorists. That means you, the Milan, you could have been arrested too if your hand was clean. You could have been arrested. And the same Chiroma Bakari should have also told you that you are told us that you were also a terrorist who was picked up from Nigeria. You, the Atamilan, you go and sit with somebody who arraigned every of your colleagues. And you want us not to believe that you are not behind this thing. You want us not to believe that you are not behind all these games that happen in Nigeria. Where is that so-called Nalova Lyonga or Nalova, ordinary Nalova saying at the same thing? Where is that so-called Nalova be? Where is she? Why has she not come out openly to speak in public? What kind of afraid are you? If you are a leader, you must learn to speak. Even me, what they for US here. I they speak out. I they speak out for self-defense on my people. Other people are in the US, they cannot speak out. This is a fact. This is a truth fact. Other people cannot speak out. But if you claim you are a leader and you wanted to lead a delegation to Abuja, to Nigeria, and you stood, you were the face behind the dismissal of Mark and Ivor from the consortium. You stood in the front line with Son Nalova. So why are you not speaking out from your hiding? Why are you not issuing out a statement when everybody knows international human rights instruments are all on your head? Why are you not speaking out? This is exactly the mafia these two people are playing. There is no one. If you are a leader, you speak out. You sacrifice your life for the population. If they want to catch anybody, maybe they can catch Tapang Ivo. Maybe they don't catch my people. Maybe they can catch me. Because I don't really sacrifice for Una, make Una be alive. And if Lady Eve, where we publish the receipt, claimed to have supplied and paid the flights of everybody in Abuja, paid the flights of everybody, paid even Milan's flight, Lady Eve, the woman who we call Nalova Bay, paid all the flights. If she really did pay the flights, great. Where did this money come from? Who paid her this money? Who gave her the money? Where did this money come from? Is she a treasurer in the IG? How did she get this lump sum to pay for people's flights? And why would she be the one who was not even arrested, who is the only one who is free right now? All these questions are bogging people's minds. at the time when people have died. The only solution to all this is to dismiss Milan from IG officially. And if IG, no one dismiss it, IG is playing a game. Dismiss Milan from the IG. Dismiss Vice President, whatever, from in South Africa, Taka Milton or Milan, from the IG. Dismiss them. Dismiss them. If you don't want to dismiss them, you're playing a game, IG. I'm honest. I'm telling you straight in the face. And when you come back, they go see talk again, say, not true, I will be don't talk. I will be don't talk. Not true, yeah, I will be don't talk. Not true, yeah, that boy they say be don't talk. Look at what some people see now, I see after tomorrow. Dismiss all these people, clear them off. If IG cannot release a statement within the next 24 hours to dismiss them, IG has a problem. Then IG itself is infested because there are people inside the IG who are holding back, who are holding back. Say no dismissal. Therefore, IG has a problem, and IG is playing politics on people's lives, as clear as it is. Come on. When I want to, this is so to make about BP joke line. Anyway, so let's go on. At this stage of the struggle, I want everybody to be focused. If you get anything, you just send you directly for ground air. Not even waste the time, because honestly, I know, say, if you want phone groups, phone groups. If you want phone IG, phone IG. If you want phone my trip to Boyafona. But if you ask my humble suggestion, I will tell you that the best thing to do right now is to support any group on the ground, not group abroad. That money hardly trickles down. Support any group on the ground. If you know any person, when he get group on the ground, support that person. If you think say Ayabacho, he get group on the ground, please go right now and say Ayabacho, please, how do I fund these ADF soldiers? Go and fund it. Go right now, just stop from this watching me. Go now and tell Ayabacho, please, I want to send $50 to the ground. Support me, support that. I want to support these soldiers, these people who are fighting. Support them. If you think you know somebody who owns Red Tigers or Tigers, go and say, okay, Mark Barata, please, how can I fund these people? Fund. I want to support you on. I want to support this. If you think you know somebody who owns Ngi Warriors, so and say, okay, please, how do I fund Ngi Warriors? Support those groups on the ground. Support them. If you cannot support them, you're not supporting the struggle. Support those groups. Go and give your money to those groups, because I know from experience. Mark talk from experience. I know the impact of $1,000, 1,000 francs, not dollars. I know the impact of $2 on the ground. Two. I've not said 10,000. They didn't ask you money. They ask you now only 1,000. I know the impact of 1,000 on the ground. 1,000 from experience. I'm not talking myself from somebody's experience. I'm talking from my own experience. I know the impact of 1,000 on the ground. 1,000. 1,000. Gosh, I don't know how to talk this thing whether I go start talking from Gambo, or I go talking from which country talk, or I go talking from my Blebi Alem country talk. Well, if you feel say you know all the struggle past all man, go now fund those groups abroad. There are groups on the ground, boy, they cry, boy, they hold their guns, and you guys are raising money abroad. We're not seeing weapons on the ground, and then you want to tell me that money is going to the ground? That money is going for people's mortgage. They are paying their mortgages abroad. They are paying their mortgages. People don't buy houses. They pay mortgages abroad with their money. They are paying mortgages with your money. Take your money. That boy, they don't show their face. If you like them, they will show you their name and their face or video. You know how to contact them. Ask and say, the boy, they don't show their face. How they send them money? They go give them names and accounts and how not to send them money. That money go change things on the ground. Now they don't start show their face. So you feel go fund them. They don't start show their face. That means they know their names. They feel come on, go take the money from any place. Those boys, they already know. Find them, go fund them. Fund those people on the ground. If you don't want to fund their leaders. Terrible. So as I talk, I go always tell one of the truth. Didn't know way they talk through it. You know they lie. The greatest thing, that means I don't even ask God, say, God, when you give that independence, I know I even going back for Ambazonia. That means my fight ends there. That means when you get that independence, might just end me for you, might just stay me for here. So put a day they want to go for Cameroon, no. They want to go for Ambazonia, no. Me, I want to stay me for here. Them say after I don't get independent, me, I want to stay me for here, enjoy my life, just relax me, stay quiet. Because all the years I don't suffer, I don't punish my picking, them punish my woman, them punish all man. But now so I want to enjoy my life after I don't get that independence. So I will not even do no political ambition. I will run a revolutionary role. Revolution. I want to topple the regime. I talk about English. Now me in Miami. Number one, I want to topple the regime of Paul Biya Bartholomew Bimbondo. I want to topple the regime. That means I want to move to power. I want to slaughter him, that's Paul Biya Bartholomew Bimbondo, for killing my women and children. He is the one, he is my target, that one. I want to see him slaughtered like Saddam Hussein. I want to see him slaughtered like Saddam Hussein, because Cameroon has a death, La République du Cameroon has a death penalty law. So that death penalty law should apply to Mr. Biya. I want to see him slaughtered. Paul Biya Bartholomew Bimbondo. How they go slaughter Paul Biya. I want Paul Biya slaughtered according to the Cameroon Penal Code that has a death sentence law. I want to see Paul Biya slaughtered. Number three, I want to see Cameroon slaughtered into two. I want to see Cameroon slaughtered. You should slaughter Cameroon into two. That means Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. You slaughter the two countries. Then you have Ambazonia Republic and La République du Cameroon. After you have those two, I didn't ask plenty. I just asked a little small. After you have those, then I say game over, finish. Our women and children can be safe. I will take a few questions. Anybody will get questions, I ask them, make a talk. And as simple as it is, just to let everyone know, Red Dragons, it already enter for Limbe, for Victoria. Red Dragons is there for Victoria right now. Some person be advised me, say, man, no tell Red Dragons made a do video. Yes, they're not going to do it again next week. They begin to do some video for Victoria, for show their presence, for announce their presence officially in Victoria. The person write me for WhatsApp, they tell me, say, well, that strategy, this will not be good. I say, why? He explains certain reasons. I say, okay, they're not going to do any video. But I want to inform you, say Red Dragons already Victoria. They don't enter Victoria for shaken place because we get what Ambazonia National Oil Refinery, ANOR. ANOR, the Ambazonia National Oil Refinery, ANOR. Some people don't call it Sonara, but we would call and say Ambazonia National Oil Refinery, ANOR. So Red Dragons, it head towards ANOR and will capture ANOR. Red Dragons, it won't make Limbe a panic, or other terrorists made a panic and they leave. And I don't mind even explain strategy online. So as we don't enter Limbe, one next move they go now for Santa. We don't hear about these problems the way they happen for Santa. We say no. If we stay aloft, that means if we stay afloat, if we stay above, we'll not even go under, then we'll not go help the situation any better. We don't say we'll go for Santa. Once we enter for Santa, whether not for matters in which place, Red Dragons, they already know the plan. We will capture the whole Santa and then put Pinyin under control, because Pinyin, it get weapons the way we'll use them now for enter Bali. Once we enter Bali, we capture Bali, then we capture the entire Mancon. In fact, Red Dragons would already send a squad already for me to investigate what will happen for Pinyin and what will happen for Santa. So Santa and Pinyin, they're under Warada. Bali, they're under Warada. And Mancon itself, they're under Warada. So I show you, say, if you did Bamenda, John knows that Bamenda already be contained by our soldiers. Our boys, they already be part of the whole system. And we will take everything back. We will put everything under control. Some people, they don't say the Red Dragons, they come from Kambe. Say Kambe is very weak. I want to tell you honestly, we don't have the resources to be everywhere at the same time. But gradually, with your effort, we shall have the resources to be everywhere at the same time. But for now, we'll not get the resources. And the boys on the ground, whether they be part of Red Dragons or they not be part of Red Dragons, they hear my words and they take them for reality. Those boys are the ones who hear us. They're looking us for up to Tapang Aibo. This one, that one. For years, say, okay, more do how. I want to tell you that the strategy be very simple. Inside your communities, you know boys the way they be very serious. You know boys the way, you know, say the guy, this one, Ibrahim bin Agram. You know this one, you know that one. Inside your communities, simply take the challenge. That means say, wake up for up. Stand for up. You talk, say, okay, I go do so. And when I do so, I go support these boys, I go support that one. Everybody, that means you man your communities. I don't give a very simple strategy towards winning this revolution. Till today, nobody has implemented it. Only Tapang Aibo don't implement that. And Tapang Aibo implement that for your own village for Lebialem. And when I don't see them say the Red Dragons are even the most formidable. The only territory right now that has been captured is Lebialem. We are the only people who have captured our entire country, our entire territory. Lebialem is the only one. The entire ones are still under colonial occupation. Lebialem is the only territory. Right now, we're only trying to bring our women and children back to their cities. But we have fully captured it and we have blocked all the roads and we have manned barricades. It is simple. We have all groups, more than 30 groups in this Ambazonia revolution. We have all these ones, Skakov, Skaka, IG, the Scam, the Scapo, the Skosko, the Ska, the Skanska, the Ska, Skusku, Ska. All those Kaskas. You divide those Kaskas into 15 divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Goketunja, this one, that one, that one, that one. If you divide all those Kaskas in those divisions and say, okay, IG, you are responsible only for Lebialem. This one, you are responsible only for Ngoketunja. This one, you are responsible only for this one. Then people are pumping money into these groups. Therefore, you will hold Lebialem, you will hold IG, for example, responsible for the laxity happening in Ngoketunja. Therefore, you will hold, ADF, responsible for the laxity happening in Manyo. Therefore, you hold this one, or IG, you can hold Red Dragons responsible for the laxity happening in Lebialem, because you already know that Red Dragons is already part of Lebialem, and they're in charge of Lebialem, and you guys have been funding it. So where is my funding going to? Where is my money going to when I'm seeing La Republic soldiers still there in Lebialem? As simple as it is, division of labor. Once you divide labor, it breeds efficiency and competence. If you don't divide labor, it will never breed efficiency and competence. As simple as it is. I'm going to answer some few questions. Please, how do I follow Red Dragons on the ground? It's simple. You already know people who already have Red Dragons. I will not be calling their names here. You already know the people who have Red Dragons. Contact me privately and see how we will follow Red Dragons. Which army exposes its strategy online? We are the only army that exposes our strategy online. We are the only army that educates our people online. Ambazonia Army. And it is because of our actions that we do online that makes La Republic to panic and they block the internet. If we educate people online, and which is a good thing for the enemy, why would the enemy instead go to block the internet? Well, their heads are empty. The person who asked that question has an empty Ekemaaki head. If we expose our strategy online, which is a good thing for the enemy, by the way, why would the enemy still go and block the internet in Ambazonia? Question number one. If really we expose our strategy online, which is good, that means the enemy should be happy about it. That means it should be good. Why would they still go to block the internet? Why would they go? It means that our strategy is really poisonous. And that is why we should be doing. What we are doing is mass education, sensitization. We are telling people this is how you do it. And because we tell them, that is why the revolution keeps going worse and worse against La République du Cameroon till this present date. Never in human history have we seen so many soldiers killed, like the terrorists rather, killed like since the start of this month. Never. The month of April has been the bloodiest ever for La République terrorists. Bloodiest. We've seen their corpses, we've seen bodies, we've seen their coffins. Bloodiest. Because of what we do online. So clap for yourself for what we do online, because it's education that matters. There are only 2 steps towards advocacy. What we are doing is advocacy. There are 2 steps towards advocacy. Number 1, speaking out, and number 2, taking action. If you never speak out, you will never prepare people's minds for taking action. What we were doing for the past 2 years, 3 years, we're speaking out to prepare people's minds. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is how you should mobilize yourselves. This is how you should do it. And now people are taking the action. What we are doing right now is only reinforcing the action. You guys are already having 10 guns. We will supply you with mitraillettes. We will supply you with automatic rifles. We will supply you with machine guns. You guys are already having this. We will give you RPGs. You guys are already having this. We will give you grenades. We are telling them that openly online. Should we tell them in private? How will we tell them in private? Should we go back home and tell them in private? We will tell them online. It's online. The revolution against Gaddafi was done online. People mobilized themselves online and they toppled Gaddafi online. The mobilization against Tunisian President Ben Ali was online, and it was the Arab Spring that toppled Ben Ali online. Right now, this is the digital age. In fact, some professors, we don't write down, gone are the days when wars were fought on land, airs, and seas. Today, wars are being fought in cyberspace. Reason, that's the person, I'm answering that person who lack knowledge. Gone are the days when wars were fought on land, airs, seas, and military barrack. In fact, his name is Sipping Ping. I don't forget, two out of the day, Christopher Ling and something. Gone are the days when wars were fought on land, airs, and seas, and military barracks. Today, wars are being fought and defeated in cyberspace. In fact, in 2010, in December 2010, the National Security Council in the United States listed the greatest threat to its national security as cyber threats, and coming from China. Not even physical threat. In 2010, the US government listed its number one national, not even local, national security threat as a cyber threat, and pointed fingers as China as its number one enemy for that. That should tell you enough that we have all passed the old age of regime where things are not done, where things were not done online. We are now in a digital age where we do everything with a simple cell phone. You can mobilize communities across the globe.